Hey, so what's going on? I know it's been a minute since I made a video, and I'm actually outside because it's such a. Sorry about that. Like I said, I was outside, so I'm outside, so there might be a lot of outdoor noise. That was my niece, obviously, but yeah. So with this video, I just want to thank God. Thank Him for giving me the grace of and the energy and just the mentality to wake up and do the things I do. I just want to thank Him for giving me life and just thank Him for letting me prosper during this time of this pandemic, financially and mentally. A lot of people have been breaking down, unfortunately, but with the help of God, things will work out for the good. Like I always say, my good outweighs my bad, so there's not much to complain about. I got my hair cut. Everything's opening up. Well, not everything, but things are starting to open up in New York. So, excuse me. Things are starting to look a little bit brighter, I guess. And so with this video, I just want to start off by saying, what it's like to be pretty much sober. I got my little thing to get my white balance. I can't really get it too much because the sun. But yeah, so sober life to me has been almost, say, 6 or 7 months, give or take, since I've been sober. Some may know that I used to be a hardcore drinker. But like I said, with the grace of God, He kind of transitioned me out of that phase, or whatever you want to call it. And I wouldn't say phase, but He pretty much took me out of the dark to bring me to the light. So I just thank God for that. So with that said, sober life, it's very interesting because there are times when, especially when I'm alone, I start to think like, man, I need a drink, or whatever the case may be. But it is a hard fight, but at the same time, if I just stay strong and just keep God in my heart, I know things will work out for the best. One thing I've been doing, not so recently, but before, when I started to get off alcohol, I was starting to like fast a lot more, and as I was fasting, those are like, and it's funny because I was listening to Marcus Rogers, one of his most recent videos, and he was saying how when he fasts, that's when he feels his most connection with God. Like there's no interference with the connection of prayer, and I kind of felt the same way. Like anytime I fast, I feel like I feel more connected with God, and I don't have any. There's no like. It's almost as if like you're watching a TV with an or not internet, antenna connection, and you know how sometimes frequencies get in and it starts to make that little shittery, jittery looking, blocky-ish looking kind of waveform when you have interruption, and that's kind of how it is when you start to fast and start to embrace God, and He starts to show you things, and it's almost as if you can actually hear Him, and it's almost as if you're just talking to. I mean, in prayer, anyways, it's like that, but it's almost as if you're having a, in front conversation with God, almost as if He was literally in physical form in your presence. So, when I started to fast, it helped me a lot with trying to overcome the things that I was going through. And but the main topic on this video is that being sober, you can have a lot of fun. Being a person of God, being a believer, you can have fun. People think you need to go out partying, drinking, just, excuse me, like just find a couple hobbies that you're interested in if you're a believer of God, and just, just pray on it, and I'm sure things can work out. So, I don't want to wrap up the video too quick, but, for example, when I used to drink a lot, let me let this car go by. When I used to drink a lot, I always found myself going to bars and going out partying around friends and things like that. But as you start to distance yourself from that, you kind of find more of yourself. Like, cause I feel like with alcohol, it kind of goes back to that discussion of how when you talk to God, when you fast, there's a clear connection with an antenna, like kind of the same metaphor. You don't really know yourself when you're drinking, because it's almost as if you're taking on a role of somebody that you're not. Because when you drink, it's as if you know, you're not quite there almost, you know. I've had times where friends would get so drunk, even myself, and we'll be like, "Ah, bro, like, I don't even feel like I'm in my body no more," like, and it's as if, you know, when you're sober and when you start to find things that, you know, interesting you, you kind of find who you are as a person. And I feel like a lot of people in this world, not even in like this society or this generation, it's just like kind of hard for them to find themselves. So if you're using drugs and alcohol and you're trying to pursue that, you know, pursue that identity of finding yourself, you're not really gonna find it too much with alcohol and drugs. So with that said, you know, when you start to sober yourself, you tend to find yourself. You know, it's almost as if like you're walking down a tunnel and it's taking forever to get to the end, but when you start to get sober, it's almost as if the light gets bigger. And that's kind of how it is with me. I start to figure out how to humble myself a lot more. I tend to find things I never thought I was interested in that I am now. For example, videos and photos, I never really, I mean, I had a passion for it, but it wasn't something so serious. But now I'm just like, man, I would rather do this than drink any shot or any alcohol beverage. So, you know, this video was just to somewhat let people know, especially people of God and people who believe, that you can have fun being sober. So, kind of want to end this video now, but everyone stay tuned. I'm actually in the process of dropping my EP. I'm doing it through a distribution company called DistroKid, and they sent me an email saying, "Oh, unfortunately, your cover doesn't contain your rap name or whatever artist name and the title of the song," so I had to redo that. So hopefully things go out for the good. I'm gonna pray on it and hopefully things work out. So yeah, with that said, my EP will be live on Spotify, iTunes, pretty much all platforms. So stay tuned for that. I'm definitely gonna post it on YouTube. It'll be on SoundCloud if people can't. They don't have like the full streaming apps like iTunes or Apple Music. You have to pay for it. So if you can't get on Apple Music for the Android users or Google Play or whatever, you can always just hit up YouTube or SoundCloud. But thanks everyone for watching my video. Everyone have a blessed day. Thank you.